Episode 6, Spence and Serge coming right back at ya. Just the NFL news has been exciting. And to tell you the truth, Serge, I'm the type of guy this is going to sound kind of arrogant to start off the show, but I go to work. I do work, and so do you as well, Serge. To tell you the truth, this coaching cycle, I have not been as completely, I followed the news, but I'm not hanging on every word of the news. And maybe that's from being burned by the Joe Judge and the Giants staff and some of these coaches just not working out. So really interesting. Let's talk about the highest profile jobs. We'll talk about Joe Brady first. Joe Brady, Buffalo Bills. Are you buying this hire?
I am not buying this hire, and not just because of his lack of success in Carolina, proving it. Sure, he did a really good job in LSU, but Joe Brady seems to be a guy that if you give him a top-tier in LSU, he had the best quarterback that year, so of course you're going to have success regardless. You also had a stud-full roster. People are calling it one of the best rosters ever assembled in college football, arguably. Is he one of those guys where the talent takes over?
But Steve Ensminger was there and didn't do anything, and you had Cam Cameron and horrible offenses.
That's true. You can do that with almost any single coach.
Who was on that Matt Rule? Who was he coaching in Carolina? What quarterbacks?
He was coaching Baker
and Sam Darnold.
Yeah, but look at that. That's the thing. Joe Brady couldn't get Baker Mayfield to look like this Baker Mayfield. Kevin Stefanski had Baker Mayfield in the playoffs,
and he did okay.
Yeah,
But Matt Rule hasn't ever had good quarterbacks in college. Jeff Sims was terrible under Matt Rule. Matt Rule is on a cold spell of college. Look at Dylan Raiola, the number one recruit too. It's a Matt Rule problem. That's my argument.
Maybe.
For you.
Yeah, I think
and Joe Brady was 32 years old.
But I remember.
So I'm arguing that he was a young buck in the NFL. It didn't go great, but now he learned. And he's had 4 years, and now he's in his prime. At a Pembroke Pines, Florida, William and Mary wide receiver, the same school as Sean McDermott and Mike Tomlin, actually. I'm buying this hire. I like his attitude. I like the swagger.
Yeah, if you want to go that way, like I said, I'm sticking to my gut here. I just don't feel because again, going from an offensive play caller, it's one thing to only worry about the offense and be so close to it. You're there every day. And you ever had this before where you have that one assistant you really, really like a lot, right?
Yeah.
It's so much easier to play that role with kids, with grown men. It's totally different, but it's so much easier to play the role of I know what's best for you when you're the offensive coordinator. Once you become the head coach, you kind of have to conduct yourself a specific way. Yeah. You have to speak more you are more adamant about things. You're less tolerant of certain things, and you don't really have as much patience, right? First of all, he just watched
and you know who else doesn't have patience?
The owner.
The Bills and their fans. Because you're probably going to be right. What's the only chance that Joe Brady's a really good hire? If what? They have to win the AFC. They have to win the dang thing.
Yeah, they don't just have to win first they have to win their division with now a new possible powerhouse in the New England Patriots.
An old new team.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Then you have to win the AFC, something Josh Allen has not been able to do despite his offensive coordinator. Right? And then probably, if you're a Bills fan, especially if you're one of those old-time Bills fans, you will probably not turn the TV on again if they lose in that Super Bowl. So you have to also win the Super Bowl.
But Joe Brady, yes.
That's a lot of pressure.
Joe Brady's the best hire I think they could have made.
I don't think so. I think that was literally exactly the same way.
Do you have a guy off the top of your head that you like better?
If you're telling me, do I have Brady as my offensive coordinator, you probably could live with a lot of better head coaching hires. Honestly, if you're asking me,
hear a name.
This goes for every team in the NFL. Get John Gruden. What's wrong with John Gruden? John Gruden's one of the best coaches of all time.
I love
his tree is amazing,
but he can't draft.
Don't let him draft then. Don't you have this amazing GM that got his coach
Brandon Beam?
Yeah, don't
I love Brandon.
I know you do. That's why
Brandon!
If you're bought in,
Brady, John Gruden with the Raiders, it wasn't perfect. I know it was a rebuild.
But what's perfect with the Raiders? We're not talking about the Raiders.
Josh Allen. I think Joe Brady, he's been with Sean McDermott. He's been there 4 years. And he'll bring a young, kind of upstart to this team. He could be a great upcoming play caller. You never have to change the system for Josh for 10.
I agree with that. I agree with the continuity in that. But again, being a head coach, and this is something to keep an eye on. Being a head coach means you're less inclined to be in that meeting every single time because you've got a million other meetings. You're also dealing with your owners. You're dealing with your GMs. You got so many things.
Less football.
Less
Even
football.
at the professional level. College level, it's you just are just eating with roosters.
I mean, that's pretty much what it is. But that's why I think that's just like a lazy, like whenever you promote from internally, that just shows me that you're afraid of bringing in any competition, or you just don't have an eye.
They brought in old man Rivers.
Was that even a real situation? Like, again,
brought in Davis
a
Webb.
guy that's a great high school coach, a lot could probably coach in the NFL at some capacity, but for them to jump right to head coach, like, I think that we
high
all
on Joe Brady, but I can't wait to go back and look at this. John Harbaugh. Everyone likes the hire. I'm with them. I think it's a good hire for the Giants. What do you think about John Harbaugh?
I think it's a good hire for the Giants, especially since the biggest thing that they need is culture. They need to develop like a whole identity, what they stand for, what type of player they're looking for in the draft, all that good stuff. Are we getting into that situation of like maybe John Harbaugh's best days are behind him? I don't know. Because ultimately, like, you could coach forever. Look at Bill Belichick.
Yes.
Reinventing himself. You know what I mean? So you got a little bit different personnel there. But again, are you going to do better with Jackson Dart than you are going to do with Lamar Jackson? That's a two-time MVP.
But you know what the Giants fans want? They want competency.
Yes, and that's where...
They're not asking to be...
Yeah, and that's why I think it's a good hire.
They're a little neutered in the process.
Yeah, but
they're not asking to be king. They're not going after a supermodel. They're looking at 5.
But they should.
Sixes.
They should. I think that everybody should have a higher standard for themselves in a day-to-day life, let alone in the NFL.
Well, he raises the floor, but you have to do in steps.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I believe that it's a great...
The Giants had to.
Yeah, I believe that it's a great hire for them. I think that they're going to be... I'm kind of actually a little bit worried about the Giants now in the NFC.
Here's the example. The Giants can't go out and take a swing like a Sean Mannion at an important position because guess what? Because they haven't had the success. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I don't know. Liam Cohen worked in Jacksonville. The last coaching cycles were insane.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, a Super Bowl winning head coach brings stability, brings all, again, he's got the answers to the test. It's just a matter of, can he keep reinventing himself? I think that he can. I, as an Eagles fan, am worried about the Giants.
And he's younger. He looks even younger than his brother, and he is actually younger than his brother. Let's talk about Halfley in Miami. How about we'll lump in Halfley and Kevin Stefanski?
Okay.
Anyone pop out to you about these hires? I know I phrased that in a negative way, but...
So I actually love the Stefanski hire for the Atlanta Falcons.
Love with a capital L.
I love it, especially like you can just remember the Stefanski offenses are big run offenses, and they have a hell of a running back. Hook along arms. But like Bijan is like different. He is different. Like, and we saw in a game that didn't matter against the Rams, he was explosive. Everybody talked about it coming out of the draft. No breakaway speed. I think we can put that to bed. But ultimately, like, I just love a Stefanski offense. I don't know why. He doesn't have any lack of creativity. Like, I feel like there's like those third downs. What let him down was quarterback play. It wasn't always like a bad play call. It was bad decision making. It was an inaccurate pass. It was an opportune time to, decide to risk something that maybe was incomplete. I don't think that Stefanski's lack of success was due to him just not having enough answers in his bag. I thought that it was just mediocre play by his players in the moment. And again, it's a cursed franchise in the Browns, so I think that Atlanta Falcons have a little bit better pedigree. Oh boy. We're going to get into that.
Not accurate?
No.
Too small?
Too small.
Stefanski he's so plain. I liked his offense in Minnesota, so I'm definitely naturally on the other side. Because sometimes some shows think that we stage arguments. Stefanski's so dry. The Browns don't play hard for him, and he failed in Cleveland. I'm not inspired by Kevin or his personality, so I'm not excited about it. That defense was pretty solid, but he hasn't had a good offense or a good run in a while. He's used to losing, and I wanted to see him get animated. So I think it's average as heck. I think they'll be looking for a new coach in a couple of years.
That's fair.
think he's an average coach. Let's see if he's better than that.
That's fair, and I respect your opinion.
A good coach wins that division, right? With the talent that you have with London and maybe Kyle.
Yeah.
Do you think Kirk is going to be that quarterback there?
No, I don't know. Based on everything that I've seen, I think that Kirk's playing days are either coming to an end or already over.
I don't know.
He
can roll for 3 more years.
I mean, could he physically? Probably could. Maybe he will. Maybe somebody will hire him as probably a backup. Maybe there's some teams that need a spot fill quarterback for like a lag year or something like that. I'm not saying that he doesn't have a place in the league. I'm just saying I think that he's getting comfortable in that chair. You know what I mean? Being an analyst.
So guess
and
what?
He's doing a good job.
Jeff Hafley in Miami, I'm going to go first with this one. I'm out on this one. I'm being negative and out. Did you see him at all? Like any pressers?
Awful.
He's like an AI like character.
Dry like in the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding. He's dry like a piece of toast. I tried to put jam. No. He don't want jam. Exeno. Dry like a piece of toast. Not just his personality, but do we ever remember a good Packers defense?
No. Not really.
So what are we doing?
When he had Micah Parsons.
Is the problem in Miami that they just don't have a good enough defensive coordinator? No, they have so many problems in Miami. And again, I think I might have mentioned this before. For those of you at home, you might have heard this from me before. But I'm a big proponent on it's just so hard to win in the state of Florida. You just got so much going right for you in terms of weather. There's a reason why people retire down and go down there. People aren't going down there to get ambitious. They're going down there to enjoy their time.
To let go like Mike did. He has the best PR in the world.
Oh my God.
Hafley. Everyone thinks Hafley is like this, the greatest thing to come from sliced bread.
Who's he been rubbing elbows with? Because
how was Boston College? Was that memorable at all there?
No.
And then you have Michael
one thing that he's been memorable about? Okay, so
looking like he's a computer in that robot.
Right.
The GM too. And they use these. You know what the buzzword is? So what's the buzzword? Violence is now a word that's used a lot. Edge. Edge is a coach speak word.
Yeah.
Edge. Mm-hmm. This guy's we're gonna play with edge, we're gonna play violent, we're gonna attack and be multiple.
Yeah, whenever coaches talk like that, you can't even describe what that looks like to your players because that's not the vernacular that you're gonna be using in the meeting. You're gonna be talking about pad level, you're gonna be talking about this. You can't express to a player playing with like this edge. You are supposed to be the one looking for players with that edge.
That competitiveness.
You're not supposed to be
at the pro level.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it's Miami. It's not that McDaniels, like obviously we knew McDaniels like from this. Remember the one press conference where like, oh, I thought you guys were going to look bigger. He's just not exactly a serious person. Maybe this guy's a little bit more serious, but it's hard to get back somebody that
they're going to quit on him because he's that style coach that he's that try-hard teacher that actually you might hate. Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to fire like rock, paper, scissors, all right? On 3, you're going to go either Minter or McCarthy. Who do you like better? 1, 2, 3.
Minter.
I was going to.
Wow. I thought we were about to jinx each other.
Because I'm out on McCarthy.
I'm out on McCarthy. I think
that's the common theme.
I think, again, he's another coach that has had a lot of talent on the rosters that have been around him. There's some people that keep giving him this like weird credit for like comparing him to like winning percentages, all this different stuff. But like, if you're going to sit here and say wins aren't a quarterback stat, how can wins be a head coach stat? I just don't understand
how you're softest hire.
And I think
that hiring Mike Tomlin again.
Again, you saw this guy on the other side of you, and you beat him for a Super Bowl, and you think that he's got the answers to now.
Well, that was prime Mike.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And Minter, I love because that's the McDonald tree. Mm-hmm. That's a spicy young, up and comer.
The
funny part is about Minter is that he was Mike Tomlin's ball boy at Cincinnati. So I don't think he wanted to go there.
I don't
understand.
Maybe from a personal perspective, but personally, like, what do we know about the Steelers? We know the Steelers have always had a great defense, partly because of Tomlin and the staffs that he's been able to create. Yes. But one thing that I would have loved to have seen from the Steelers was to have beaten the Raiders to that punch. Because the Chargers defense in 2025 was first in DVOA efficiency with 2.8 yards per carry allowed. Like, that's what you know about a Steelers defense. But the Baltimore Ravens, to me, the league's a copycat league, right? When they got Harbaugh at the same time, like they were there together with Tomlin, I thought that the Ravens were trying to build the same identity as the Steelers in terms of win with your defense. Get a flashy quarterback that, like, remember, nobody even thought that they were going to use Lamar when we traded them that pick.
Yeah.
Everybody thought that he was a wide receiver. So kudos to them for making him, like, allowing him to play his true position.
Their franchise is just more modern.
Yeah.
Their ownership's better. Mm-hmm. But you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, I would have went with Anthony Campanelli from up there in New Jersey. He's now the Jags DC.
Yes.
He has that nastiness. He's real. I love Camp.
He's a good guy.
And Camp would have, like, absolutely brought that like.
He is, and also he's somebody that's on the short list of guys that are being, like, nominated for
still interviewing. Yeah. Still interviewing. I think Clint's probably going to the Raiders. That's going to hurt the Seahawks going forward. Clint Kubiak.
I just don't think that it matters.
All right. That is it. Coaches with Spencer Surge.